Hello, everyone. It's been quite a while since I have sent out an email, and I want to catch up on what's been happening with me. Now, if I remember correctly, the last email that I sent was really about this transition that was happening. And unless you are completely disconnected from all kinds of media, you know what's happening right now in the United States and quite frankly across the globe. Lots of things that have happened as a ripple effect, right, of what's happening here in the United States. And I have a need to speak on this because advocacy and speaking up for what is right is kind of in my blood. And if you didn't already know this, I'm actually what's called an indigo kid. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I am a soul who chose to be here during this time to actually create pathways. Now, those of us who are indigo children, we have historically pushed back against the status quo. Many of us are neurodivergent. Most of us just don't fit neatly in a box. Many of us do not like rules. We often had difficulty connecting with people our own age. We just found people who are much older, much more interesting. But we really are here to be the change makers. A lot of us are actually teachers, and we're here to be the change makers for the mystics and the psychics and the healers coming in, and especially for our rainbow kids and our crystal kids, which is a whole different conversation. Many of us are people who just feel deep within our souls that we have to be part of the change. Now, some of you also know that I have been part of a spiritual community for quite some time. And I've come to this deep awareness more now than ever that my awakening, my journey into understanding the truth of who I am beyond this physical time and space was never really about me. It was always about the collective, always. Our individual awakening is actually a part of the unity consciousness. It's the awakening of all of us as we are collectively one. This is my foundational belief of I am you and you are me. And this is why, with everything that's going on right now in the United States, it's very difficult for me, my personal struggle as to how to show up and do my work as a spiritual teacher, as an intuitive trauma healing guide. Because I watch so many people from the spiritual community across the social media platforms that I am on just go on as business as usual. And I've sat among groups who believe everything happens for a reason, and I believe everything happens for a reason. That the conversations right now is that there is some greater purpose to all the suffering that is happening. And I've really sat with that quite a bit over the last several months. And even more recently, there was a spiritual teacher, I guess she's a psychic medium actually, and she said that the people who are being victimized right now, given what is happening in the United States, signed up as tributes. And if you know anything about the Hunger Games, you understand what that means, that they agreed to be tributes at this time. I understand that. I understand it from this global awareness, but I also feel like this is our test that runs far deeper than who we are as individuals. I do want to take a look at this from an individual personal perspective. So I want you to just imagine for a moment watching your child, someone very close to you, someone that you love, or even your pet. Watch them being hurt, traumatized, abused right in front of you. And you go to do something, like you go to act. And the person standing next to you puts their arm out and says, no, 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 no. This is for your greater good. The healing that's going to come from the pain that you're experiencing right now is going to be for your greater good. So just stand here and watch. Just stand here and do nothing. Now, granted, there are situations that we can't control and we can't step in and do something, right? But when we have a choice and we choose to do nothing, that's inhumane. And I believe that this is one of our greatest tests of our humanity, and even further, of our collective consciousness, our unity consciousness. When we see families being separated at a school graduation where parents have to flee because ICE is standing outside or ICE is entering the building and they have to flee and leave their children behind, or when work sites of people just doing a job, not harming anyone, living their own life, when their work sites are being raided and their families are waiting for them at the end of the day and they have no idea where they are. And we say nothing. It's inhumane. When we watch legislation erase LGBTQIA plus rights and we stay neutral, when we witness communities losing access to food assistance, and then we just say it'll work out in the end, it always does. This isn't the art of living without attachment. We are actually perpetuating the idea that some people's suffering is acceptable collateral for progress. See, the thing is that our nervous system knows the truth, that flinching that you might experience within your body when you are witness to violence on the news or even right in front of you. It's your body recognizing yourself in others. But far too often what we do is we override this biological wisdom with spiritual platitudes. And this isn't the act of transcending. We're actually numbing the very connection that makes us human. So here's what happens when we spiritualize oppression, because I see it over and over again. The trans teen who no longer has access to gender affirming care, contemplating suicide. And we say, your soul chose this challenge. Or the migrant child whose parents are being detained and the child has to appear in court without knowing, the child's 4, has no idea what's happening. None. And then we go, well, they agreed to this contract. This isn't wisdom. And I think it's really important for us to acknowledge that this isn't wisdom. This isn't spirituality. This isn't our divinity at play. This is spiritualized cruelty. It's compliance. In case you didn't know this, I am first generation American on my father's side. My mother was a migrant worker, as were my grandparents and my great grandparents. Now, my migrant worker ancestors didn't work in the field, so I could watch similar suffering today and call it soul lessons. So I'm here to tell you that real spirituality does not rationalize injustice. It doesn't. We are here to help. We are here to be of service. We are here to be the love that we truly are in the way that we interact with others. And we are here to help those who do not have the opportunity to speak up for themselves. And here's my truth. I actually haven't struggled with all of the information that's being thrown at us. Where I've really struggled is how to show up as a spiritual teacher, because so much of what we teach is about becoming the observer and not necessarily dropping into our emotions. Or if we are starting to feel something that's a bit uncomfortable, learning how to shift quickly away from that emotion that is uncomfortable to us. That's actually called spiritual bypassing. When we suppress emotions while chasing the light. And it actually doesn't lead to wholeness. It leads to a very fragmented experience of life. And I've watched people go about their lives oblivious or indifferent to what's happening in our country. But if you saw somebody that you loved being terrorized and you could do something, would you? So I finally landed and I've made the decision to start talking about this. And I will do so through these weekly newsletters that I'm making a commitment to do. During all of this, my partner, Nina Vasquez, who is a trauma-informed life coach, and I have been creating a community, like a real community, a virtual community, where we honor both the journey of spiritual awareness and aligning with the truth of who we are, and nervous system and somatic healing. Now, community is a really important part of our healing journey, but I think it's especially true these days. With all the things that are happening in the United States right now, it's a space that we can come together and celebrate one another and really share our own personal truths. Within our community, we honor spirituality and developing this deeper sense of awareness of the truth of who we are. And we also connect that to the nervous system healing process. We use a lot of somatic work to get us connected to our bodies. We don't bypass hard emotions in pursuit of spiritual awakening or alignment. This is really a space where every member is valued for their whole authentic self. Diversity, equity, and inclusion has been like the buzzword that's been flying every which direction, and it's been misconstrued and misinterpreted. In our community, we are so dedicated to creating a diverse community where diverse perspectives are honored. We are also committed to creating an inclusive community where every person feels a sense of belonging and knows that this is a safe space for them. And everything that we do and everything we offer comes from the lens of equity to ensure that everybody has the opportunity to access the resources that we make available. In the coming weeks, I'm going to share lots more information about what we do within this free community. And did I mention it is free? So here's my invitation to you. I invite you to join us. If you are ready to heal in a way that honors both your nervous system and your body and your soul's wisdom, And if you believe that true awakening means showing up, not just for yourself, but for those who are unable to speak for themselves, then this is your community. This is where we align with the truth of who we are. This is where we hold space for one another, where we celebrate each other. And it's where we're willing to take a stand, not in some detached higher realm, but right here in this messy, beautiful, painful, incredible human experience. And we're doing it together.